Welcome to the Dancing Oracle with Najia. Today we have tiaras, tea, tarot cards, and talks. Talks based upon my audience member questions. So let me get started with Julia. Okay? So Julia, dash 4Q9G. Julia, hello, by the way. Julia's written me quite a bit. She has some really interesting comments. And this is whenever you see TTT, I kind of abbreviated it. You'll find out if your questions have been addressed in the readings, and then I'll follow up with a tarot or oracle reading at the end. So if you're only here for the oracle reading or the tarot reading, just hit the fast forward button, and no complaints about me reading very well thought out questions and different things that people have asked me. I do have to honor that. I don't want to see nasty comments about that. Just fast forward, okay? Until you see the cards, all right? So Julia says hello, and thank you and John for making this video. This was a video trilogy based upon the the angry Celtic ghost spirit entity, whatever, on his property, and the ley line. So he's over in the UK, John, my dear friend. So she found it very informative. And she said, I was able to access your dream about the two sons earlier. Um, and she does talk a lot about that. I'll talk about that in another video, about my dream about the future world predictions. But she's going to start with this video first. By the way, Julia is psychic. She is very intuitive. I did feel some energy from your two cats, but they asked me not to say anything, and they will tell you when the time is right. Yeah, so it was really interesting. I talked about cats and reincarnation in one video, as well as cats can actually lay on the ley lines without experiencing any negative health effects, whereas other animals and humans, if we're on a particular ley line, these energy grids, it can really affect our health if we're there for any extended period of time. So that's what she's referring to based upon these different videos I'm mentioning. And she says, I did feel some energy from some of John's clients, but I feel some of the energy is private. Yes, it is. Yes, it is, Julia. Um, yeah, so she's keeping it to herself, definitely not in the comments. I could not feel too much energy about the ley line concerning the Celtic because we didn't talk about it too much. Yeah, so we did talk a little more in the next video when you see the full series, and we are going to talk some more. There will be a follow-up, number 4, after he has the psychic come to his place. So I will let you know, Julia. Um, and she said she wanted to ask if it's okay with John if he could shoot some video of where the line is without anyone getting hurt. Now, John's really private about that because of his neighbor. So he's being really private about the location. And, he had pictures and diagrams and everything he showed me, but he wasn't willing to share it with the public. Yeah, yeah. Um, so Julia, she has some gifts, and she can access the energy without using energy to travel there. So she can go there remotely. She also said, ask if you can please ask John about the people who got deathly ill these questions. What did they get ill with? Now, I do remember what 3 people have. So there were 2 separate people that lived there before who were not related. and they're sleeping on a bed that's literally right on this ley line. And in these videos, we talked with John, who's a feng shui aficionado for several decades, and he talks about how you should never sleep on a ley line, okay? And these are these energy grids that travel throughout the earth, and there's many sacred sites throughout history built on these ley lines, which are fine to be on for short periods of time. To combine the issue of people getting deathly ill, there's this very angry entity present on the property. And the Celts had been driven out over 1,000 years ago. So this is a long time. Yeah. So she's asking what they got ill with. Well, the two other people, ha- there's four, there's a few sets of people, but there were two people who were not related who both got MS, seriously ill with MS, multiple sclerosis. It's debilitating throughout the nervous system. It's a horrendous disease. And some people can live a long time with it, other people really suffer. And the current person, I believe, has cancer. The other people, he did make some suggestions about moving their bed to another part of the house, things like that, because they couldn't move right away, you know. And the current person is not open minded to listen to anything woo woo. And, you know, it's just, they don't want to, he doesn't want to cause bad feelings with a neighbor who is literally right attached to his home. He's living in a, I think they call it in the UK a semi-detached. Here in Philadelphia, we call that a twin house because it's two homes divided by a wall. Okay, so that's the situation. But John's house is totally free and clear of the ley line and the angry Celt energy. It's the adjoining property that has issues, not only with humans, but with plants that were on the ley line. So the plants were dying. And certain plants do really well on the ley line. Um, Other plants, which are more, they can not do well. So it depends. You have to like choose what goes well, what doesn't go well. And same thing with cats. So cats, also she was mentioning the cats. Cats can sleep on the ley line. They're okay with the negative energy. I think cats are really protective spirits that they can transform energy. They're my little protectors. You can feel the difference in the home, you know. I think that they can battle negative energy psychically. I think they're really special. But other animals like dogs and sheep and horses and cows cannot deal with the energy and should not be placed on the ley line. And this is like farm area, especially, you know, over 1,000 years ago for sure. And yeah, and the current property that they're having a house on with the problems used to be a place where they would do the shoeing of, you know, like a blacksmith. And it was, you know, originally a blacksmith, and then it became like a tavern slash hotel kind of place for travelers. Now it's a home. And, you know, that site's been going on for quite some time. Yeah, um, so anyway, she said if she can't, Julia, if you can't get all, she said if she can't get all the answers that she needs, she can still access the energy through the video, but she'd rather not use extra energy. I understand, Julia. It does take a lot of energy to be psychic. It does wear you out. You have to really rest after and recover and rebuild yourself. Yeah, I understand. Thank you for doing this. So I'm going to ask John as soon as I can. I'm just getting over the surgery, and you know, now I'm talking now. I can do, you know, do a lot more stuff. I'm fine. Um, I will be contacting him when we're both available because we do have a time difference. She goes, ask if him and his neighbors, if they can answer this question. Do they ever hear knocking, banging, or hearing the noise of what sounds like a volcano erupting from the bottom of the house or ground? Very interesting question. I will be sure, Julia, to follow up with you about this, and I'll probably read your next comment on the video so that I can answer in depth, because I have some, I had to have surgery on my hand, and can't type a whole lot. Can't text, type, whatever. So when I do read comments, I keep them short, and I answer with a little heart emoji because my hands just stop working. So that's why I like to have these little tarot tea things, and then we have the live chats with the members, because you can all chat and type, and I can talk. So I'm just going to have a sip of tea before I start reading. So for those who want to fast forward, the reading is coming out now. The reading is coming out for those who just want to hear the reading, okay? And this is my mom's. Oops, shoot. My mom, she's passed away. She's on the other side, but she still does communicate with me in various ways. Ooh, I should talk about that. I should talk about all the incredible ways my parents have communicated with me in one of the upcoming videos, because many of you have lost people in your life and you miss them, and you don't realize that they're right there. I did do the couple videos on pets reincarnating and how they watch over you and things like that. But I can tell you about what I've experienced. I can even mention some of the things my friends and family have experienced, and my students. I should have one of them on. All right, so I did cleanse the cards earlier, but I do want to shuffle. I'll let you watch. In case so I just want to shuffle, and I want to tune in to this. This is I think I still want to do a message for the collective. I'm not comfortable reading on the angry cult because the energy is so negative. So and really, I think most of you want to know. Oh, I have a feeling to pull this for the collective. Temperance, finding balance, tuning in spiritually to the spiritual waters, and finding your balance. All right. And I'm going to do a full reading for you, full 10 card reading. But think about balance right now, finding balance. Because you know what? I actually was going to do a reading on, you know what? I'm going to do a reading on what's happening in the world. I live in the United States, and things are crazy. And that's what's heavily on my mind and a lot of people's minds. Yeah, competition, 5 of Wands in reverse. And the obstacle, judgment. Ooh, wow. The Lovers in reverse. Well, yeah, conscious thoughts. That sounds like it. People are feeling that breakup energy, right? They've been tricked. And the Hermit, feeling isolated. Underneath it, you want to find enlightenment. I'll talk more about these in depth. So this is for the USA and its reach into the world of what's going on. What is the climate now? The King of Wands in reverse. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Charismatic leader being diabolical and not caring about people. Yep. The Knight of Wands in the near future. Someone coming to the rescue with passionate, fiery energy. And creative and joyous. Let's see. Oh, the world in reverse. Oh my God, yeah. This is our world is turned upside down. This is the card that represents the querent, right? Right? United States right now. And the world turned upside down, literally. Everything really challenging. And the Nine of Wands is the atmosphere of vigilance and protection and trying to keep the boundaries. We had this before in the same position. It's why people voted. They thought their borders were threatened and they just care about the borders. We had that in a different way, different card, but the same idea. Nine of Wands. The Eight of Wands for hopes and fears. Oh, yeah, because things are happening too fast. Change is going boom, 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 boom. Final outcome. The Empress. Ooh, that's a good outcome. Yeah, so this is kind of what's going on right now. In reverse, the five of swords is like bullying, intense bullying, but maybe having some regrets. The Eight of Pentacles working really, really hard, but nothing come of it. Like just bad things coming of it and not good. And then lack of collaboration. It's not working out. It's very nefarious. Yeah, so that's what's kind of going on in the present. But let me read about the what's going on and kind of talk about the cards. And I hope that as I talk about the cards, let's go take this off my head because it's getting squeezy. It's getting a little hard to keep that on too long. Yeah, so I want to talk about the card in the meetings for those of you who want to learn tarot. I have all these cards in a small space because I'm doing YouTube and I don't have a lot of space because I have my computer here, right? But this is a Celtic cross meanings. This is all the meanings of the Celtic cross. But I also read the relationships of the cards as they're next to each other, right? So what we got going on now is a big competition and change, very disruptive change, right? So I had talked about this before when I read for the USA. It's like people are picking teams, you know? This is serious business and it's not a sport. And the Five of Wands is usually when it's upright is more about people um competing, right? As like a sport, like not fighting for real, but competing, like not like a physical battle, right? But you know how you can really get hurt when you do competition. And in the reverse position, so all these people that were competing with each other and want to change because five is a change number. You can watch my numerology videos, various videos where I have numerology. They're in the Divine Design playlist and intuition. Okay, if you want to hear more about that. Um, Fives are change, and people want to change, right? People were unhappy, and there's all this competition treating this country like a sport game. And some people, taking sides and competing over something really serious that affects the entire world, you know. So, um, but with the reverse position of that, it's some of the people are willing to like let go of their strife and competition because they're seeing in just a couple short months, 2 months, that's it, 2 months, right? I'm recording this on the 23rd, so it's just a little over 2 months. And 21st of March, 23rd of March today is when I'm recording this. And what is blocking all of this ability to let go of the competition? Like there's something like there's an obstacle. The obstacle is judgment, right? Now, check this out. This is so what is keeping this from completely being this competition being eradicated? Because there's still people fighting. It's still going on. It's just like never ending. It's like a decade of craziness. Check out this. Judgment is a wake up call, it's like a resurrection card. Now, do you see how she's opened up her higher chakras to connect to spirit, right? She's opened up her higher chakras to connect to spirit. And she's receiving a download. In the formal tarot cards, the angel is blowing the trumpet. It's like a healing with the Red Cross. And people are literally rising from the graves, from the dead. It's like a resurrection. It's like it's like hearing the call from heaven and the angels and the higher self, like just really tuning in. So this is in the obstacle position, which is often read as a reversal. In the Celtic cross, the card would be laying across like that in the Celtic cross spread, meaning how it's laid out on the table. So there's this inability for a large portion of people to hear. I think this actually, I have to look at my last USA reading and see what that was, but to heed the call, to connect to spirit, to really go within and to feel that connection and have a rebirth, have a resurrection, to rise from whatever dead thinking you're locked into. But it could be both ways. I mean, people really take sides and they don't listen to each other. They're not really listening to spirit, right? And we need to have things to rise up in this country, to rise up and to elevate spirit, because it's really been dragged down. And people are some real nasty stuff has come out, people being horrible to each other, racist and homophobic, all these horrible things, like judging and doing it in the name of Christianity. This is what makes me crazy, the hypocrisy. Doing it in the name of Christianity. Christ did not teach that. You're doing the opposite. This is antichrist stuff, okay? I just have to say it. I'm tired of this crap. I'm really tired of this. It's like the people on the Crusades. They didn't like the Muslims. And the Christians went out and killed them, like for no reason. You're not Christian, we're going to kill you. We're going to take over your lands. Right? And what did they do to the women, the wise women who worked with herbs, who owned property? God forbid women should own property, and burn them and call them witches, People who were healers, they burned at the stake in the name of Christ, which Christ would never, ever do that. This is what makes me crazy. Please wake up, people. Please wake up. And do not call yourself something that you're not. Do not use the Lord's name in vain. Or that's not the Lord, but do not use Jesus' name in vain. He's such a beautiful, beautiful, loving soul. Okay? And that's what's going on here. All right? We have a breakup. Conscious thoughts break up. Stalking energy. This is like a very negative card when the Lovers is in reverse. This is a partnership that's now feeling broken. A lot of people are broken. They trusted someone. They partnered with somebody in power, and they're feeling betrayed. They lost their jobs, they lost their medical insurance, they lost this, they lost that. They were lied to. And it's not good. It's not good, right? Lovers reverse. Hermit. Subconscious thoughts. People are starting to wake up. They're going the lonely road. This is a 9. A 9 card is the Hermit. 9 is when you feel alone and isolated. But the good thing is it's in the upright position. In the upright position, you're going up the mountain, to ascend and to get the higher perspective, to connect with the divine, to get the higher perspective. So there is a desire in the subconscious to ascend, to see the bigger picture. Because we do need to see the bigger picture, because we have, even if someone else had won the election, we still have an issue with certain people in power having more power than the president and ruling things or having invested interests. So it's really not the people's will, okay? So it is good that there is a subconscious thing coming up to see the bigger picture, to see what's really going on. And in the recent past, we've got the Knight of Wands, the King of Wands, the leader, in reverse. This is a charismatic leader, but in the reverse position, he does not give a crap about you. He only cares about himself. He's selfish. He has charisma, infectious energy. But think about infecting something with something toxic. So this is the toxic king in the recent past. The cards do not lie. You saw me shuffle, by the way. Interesting. And if you don't know the meaning, it's all on the internet too. Just look it up on Google. So in the near future, we have this Knight of Wands energy. Someone coming in really fast to save the day, that cares. We got a lot of orange, sacral chakra, Sacral chakra is often connected with creativity and divine feminine nature, birthing. It's where you birth babies. So it could be a female. There is a female on this card. There's somebody bringing her vitality. Knights tend to be young, right? Kings are older. Knights tend to be young. It's not always literal. Their energy is very young. I think this is AOC, Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez. She's been speaking a lot, educating everyone on the reality of what's going on behind the scenes. Yeah, because all of these cuts to supposedly save so much money, they're screwing up, and planes are crashing. All this crap is going on. We deregulated everything, so we're not going to have safe food or water anymore based upon the cuts of firing everyone in the government. And she's saying this is all to keep the billionaires from paying the $4.5 billion tax that's due this year, because the tax cuts that were put in place years ago during the first the first time 45 was president, he put in all these major tax cuts for all his billionaire friends, and they need was it $450 billion? How are you going to make that up? Even if you if you cut all these programs off for poor people, feeding kids, that, for people across the world, safety regulations, you still only have half of what you need to continue having billionaires not pay their full share of taxes or no tax, right? And I don't know why we worship, why are we worshiping billionaires? What is going on with people? The world is upside down, literally. This is the card that represents the querent. The querent is the USA and the world, like how the USA is affecting the world. The world is literally upside down and has come to the end of a cycle with the number 21, right? 21 is like the last card, and it's upside down. It's not good. It's not good, right? Because it's in reverse, right? And the environment card is all about protecting the borders, keeping the boundaries. That's a big issue. Yeah, that's a big issue. And the Eight of Wands is hopes and fears. This is like everything's happening so fast and stripping away power. There's a lot of things dealing with power that are just coming in so fast. But we have a positive card for the long-term outcome. Every time I do a card, I didn't do that many readings on the USA. I think I've done 3. But I did one recently in 3 parts, but it's technically one reading. I just made them shorter for everyone in 3 parts. The quickie version, the long deep dive explanation, and the oracle cards in relation to the tarot, part 3, to clarify everything and to confirm everything, to just bring that sense of validation. So you could watch that. Plus, after the election, I did 2 of them. 2 of them. And they all have like a good long-term outcome. So this is the Empress. The Empress is an amazing ruler. And again, female. Isn't that interesting? Always get a lady in the final outcome. I got the Justice card. I got the Queen of Cups, the final outcome. And I got the Empress. So there's that beautiful divine feminine energy coming in, rebirth for the world, beautiful rebirth of the world, caring, nurturing for the world. This energy is coming in to take care of the world. And look at that. Like, do you see what? You got to check out what's on her shoulders. It's not the norm. So it looks like angel wings at first, or a shawl, but it's actually a wave with little fishies. I did have all these intense flooding dreams, and the ocean sloshing, and just tons of rain and tons of sloshing, and a change in the geography of the world. So although the Empress takes care of everything, there will be, I don't know. So it can represent many things. But I'll tell you about the Empress and why, even though things may change on the surface of the planet, which will change everything, of course, politically, because if we have that kind of intense earth change, it's going to affect the whole world and their rulership. But why is the Empress good? Okay, the Empress is great because the Empress is, sorry, I left a message. Okay, so the Empress rules over all the 4 queens in the tarot. The Queen of Cups, who has a beautiful heart. The Queen of Pentacles, someone who knows how to take care of the health of the planet and the finances. The Queen of Swords, intellectually good and truth, very smart, intelligent, and truthful, uses her intellect for good. The Queen of Wands, creative, entrepreneurial, vital, beautiful, powerful energy. So we do have always in the long term. How long is that long term? This is the quest of many tarot readers. How long is that long-term outcome? When does it happen? Tarot doesn't work on the time scale like we would like it to, but astrology does. So we can consult an astrologer to really see the future, when this is more likely to happen. I am not an astrologer. I know a lot about astrology. But if you are wondering when this beautiful energy is coming in, I would watch some YouTubes about that from a good astrologer point of view. Be sure to hit the like button. It's free. To subscribe. I need you to help me with my channel, as we all do. We all donate our time to do this. And I hope the channel goes out to many people, and I need your help to do that. like, share the video, and subscribe. It's all free. And if you want to become a member, there's lots of perks with membership, and that does monetarily help support the channel, as well as your gifts, which information is in the description box. You can also book a reading with me or a dance lesson. You take care. Thank you for joining. Bye.